Coming up tonight, well, about 6 months ago, we lost one of our most respected Speedway commentators who commentated here for something like 40 seasons. On the special show, we chat to Deascie McHugh, a lap scorer who was a very close personal friend of Russell Harris's for many, many years, and we find out a little more about the man behind the voice. We also replay a special presentation made to Russell at the Teams Champs held about a year after his retirement. Looking ahead to this year's action, Stu Russell joins us with his predictions and his thoughts on this year's Teams Champs. We also replay the team's draw at Waikareka Park, following the highlights from Great Britain, the Allstars teams racing at Waikareka Park. We also catch up with Ross Thurston, senior referee here at Robertson Prestige International Speedway. We get his thoughts on the Teams Champs, what they need to do from a referee's perspective, and changes to the rulebook. What's that all about? We also look at that segment with the compliments of Rapid Race Replicas. You'll be excited to see those cars too. Also, to wrap up this extended episode, we look back at the highlights from night one of last season's Teams Champs. Sadly, a few months ago, we lost a long-time friend and commentator here at the track at the Robertson Prestige International Speedway, Russell Harris. Russell passed away about 6 months ago, and we're using this as an opportunity to signal and look back on Russell's life. Now, in the commentary hut, beside the commentary hut in Palmerston North, is the lap scoring hut, and in there is lap scorer Deascie McHugh, who worked with Russell for many, many years and became a close personal friend. Deascie, Russell came from Christchurch, am I right?
He did. That was in the 70s.
So why did he come to Palmerston North? Was it work or?
I think he saw an opportunity to expand his work experience here, which he wasn't doing in Christchurch. He came to Palmy and started working here at Speedway about 1976.
Why do you think he was attracted to Speedway?
He was actually asked to do it because they didn't have an announcer at that time. Mm-hmm. And so he thought, oh yeah, here I go.
Give that a go.
Started about 1976 and he finished up here mid-2010.
What sort of a bloke was he? What was he into? What was his interest?
Nearly all sports. There weren't many sports he wasn't involved in the Manawatu. He was involved with Manfield before it even became a racetrack. He watched the work being done on that and he became the original announcer there for the Manawatu Car Club. And it was only a month or so before he went into hospice that he was unable to go anymore. So he'd been involved with it well over 45 years.
Everybody knew Russell for the phrases. I remember when sprint cars were running, they were the things with wings. But he had other phrases too, didn't he?
He did, and what was so nice about those phrases is there's a guy that has raced here. Him and a team of people had T-shirts made with every single phrase on it. He had a wicked sense of humour. Mm-hmm. And when I say wicked, it took me a long time to get used to it because you were never sure if he's really joking or if it was for real. But he had so many interests outside the motorsports and sports in general. He was the only member of the New Zealand Ferrari Club owners that didn't own a drivable Ferrari.
Really?
He had a rather large collection of scale model Ferraris.
Yeah, he loved his Ferraris. He used to love the teams racing. I mean, Teams Champs is not far away.
The Teams Champs is just something that can't be beaten. He would be working at Manfield on a weekend and he'd be racing over here to commentate here as well. So he really was the voice of sports in the Manawatu.
Yeah, he was. So what sort of interest did he have outside of Speedway?
He was a man that had a lot of interests. He's written a book. Well, in fact, he's written another book on how Manfield came about. He didn't quite finish it, but it's been finished for him. So that is going to be published. He was also involved in the Chris Amon statue in Bulls. And that was one project he got really excited about. And he said, this is something that people are going to remember for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
But he missed out on that by 1 week. But he did get to see it in place before the unveiling. and that was his last outing, basically.
He was larger than life, really, wasn't he? He because of the longevity of his career behind the microphone here, everybody knew who he was, and he was called Rusty by friends, Russell by others. But he always wanted to know what was going on and always happy to chat to people, right?
He liked to be involved in everything. It wouldn't have been Russell if he wasn't like that, if that makes sense. Even right up to when he passed, he was still involved with a project. It didn't matter about anything else. He just had a passion for people, for sports. He loved reading. Right up to about a month before he passed, he was still involved with Manfield.
And of course, when you look at the amount of time devoted to Speedway, it was probably close to 40 odd years, wasn't it?
Closer to 50.
50? He was never outward in his preference and the favourite.
No.
He was always very, very neutral in that. I,
Very.
of course, unashamedly was Panthers. If you cut me, I bleed black. But he would never do that. He remained completely neutral.
He did. And he did that with all the sports. And that made him special too, because he didn't have favourites.
He called it as he saw it.
He could, exactly. And
If the Turks had a great game, he'd call that.
Quite blunt too. And he wasn't afraid to say something and step on a couple of toes. I mean, that's just Russell.
Yeah.
Over the years, getting to know him, I got to know the deeper him. And I hang on to that because there was a person outside sports that a lot of people didn't get to meet.
And I don't think he showed that to everybody.
No, he doesn't.
Because sport was his thing. He's more than happy talking to people about sport. He's not happy talking to people about Russell Harris.
No, his private life was his private life. And that's what he told me, literally.
And that's a good thing.
It is a good thing because, because of who he was. And people have this expectation of someone like that. Yeah. And he kept that, he kept them guessing.
I remember we were in the plaza. Well, I bumped into him in the plaza. And it was just before the teams, about a weekend before the teams weekend. Somebody accosted me, well, not accosted me, but they stopped me and they wanted to know if I knew who the Panthers team was. As I was talking to them, the Panthers hadn't been announced. There was still one or two questions, Russell was coming the other way. So I said, look, I haven't got the names, but I'll tell you who will have the names. I said, Russell Harris is right there. Russell will know for absolute sure. So they took off in search of Russell, and I sort of went the other way, gave him a wave and a big smile on the way past, and he looked, looks could kill. But it was a lot of fun, and you could have that because you can throw that fun at him and he'd respond. I remember him telling me that when he came from Christchurch to Palmy, he was flatting with a couple of guys and he said to the guys, what do you do in Palmerston North on a Saturday night? And they said, there's two things that you do in Palmerston North on a Saturday night. You have dinner at the Melody Lane restaurant and you go to Speedway or go to Stockhouse as it was known back in those days. And he said, so that's what they did. It's Teams Champs this weekend and you will be in the lap scoring hut. And I guess there's always times that you feel he's not that far away.
Yeah, I do. And it's not just here. It's even when I'm at home. Yeah. He used to come around. In the end, it would be on his mobility scooter, right. Rain or shine.
I know.
But it got to the point he couldn't even get into my home. Yep. So we would sit outside and I'd bring up a table and we'd sit there and have a coffee and things like that. But no, at times I do feel him really close. So, yeah.
He wasn't the sort of guy to think, I'm not well at the moment, leave me alone. I don't. He always wanted to know what's happening at the track and who's doing well and that sort of thing. So he remained his lifelong love of Speedway right through to the end.
He did, literally. The last time he worked here, he just looked at me and he says, I can't read the numbers anymore. He couldn't get up the stairs. Yeah. Mostly that was the reasoning. He just couldn't get up the stairs anymore. Yeah. He knew he had to stop. Yeah. But no, even though he wasn't here commentating, he was always interested in what had happened a night at Speedway.
Yeah, even if he wasn't here.
No.
Yeah, and Teams Champs this weekend, I have absolutely no doubt that he'll be in the sky looking down and listening, not only watching, but listening to what we're all doing and saying, they could have done better.
Yeah, I reckon he would be actually.
He would. That's exactly what he would have done. Russell Harris, we lost him 6 months ago, long-time commentator here at the Robertson Prestige International Speedway.
It's with mixed emotions that we do this, actually, because I'm really sad that he's not part of the team this weekend, because he's an iconic member of Robertson Holden International Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, not only is one of the greatest Speedway commentators this country has ever seen, he's also one of the absolute best men I've had the pleasure of ever knowing. This is the trophy that's going to be handed over. We'll talk to Bruce here. Bruce, he's a bit of a special man, isn't he?
He certainly is. He's been part of Speedway for many, many years. You've all heard his various sayings about if that one doesn't push your button, you'll never take off, or something to that effect. He's amazing, and he's been part of this show here for, well, since 1976, I think it is. So what an incredible lineup.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Puck, a word as well from you, because he's a bit of an old mate, isn't he? A mate to all of us, because he's such an absolute gentleman, as well as being just superb at what he's done.
Oh, definitely, Malcolm, and been around a long time and can tell a lot of tales.
He certainly can. So, look, we'll let you make the presentation. I'll have a word with Rusty as they hand it over. I love that. Rusty, mate, it's a bit of an honour, I got to say. I feel very privileged to be able to be part of this with you. And you're a top man, and it's been a pleasure. You've welcomed me on board to help out in some of the later years here at the track, and it's been, mate, we've always had a blast, and it's been an absolute pleasure. So, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Malcolm. I'm incredibly humbled. 40 years ago that I started, 1976, and I've enjoyed every year of it. All brought up on the Speedway, 1949, and just talking to Jason before that. My first season, I commentated the great AJ Foyt, and his dad raced against AJ Foyt.
Incredible, isn't it? So many stories. Pat was just saying about the tails. Speedway, it's in your blood. A transfusion won't get rid of it.
Nothing will get rid of it. And this event, it's just to see the growth of it over that time. And you're very, very much part of a family here. That's the great thing. We are individuals, but we work as a team. There are people who've been here like more than 30 years, 20 years, the McHughes, a dynasty of over 50 years. So it's been just a massive journey, met wonderful people, Malcolm.
It continues on. I'm sorry that you're not with us in the commentary booth this weekend, but you're always on our thoughts, and all I can say is enjoy your retirement, keep coming back, mate, always good, catch up for a coffee every time, and enjoy the rest.
Thanks very much, Malcolm, keep me away, and thank you, Bruce, thank you, Puck. Just thank you, everyone. It's been a very privileged journey, and I'm so grateful.
Well, let's hear it, everybody, for Mr. Rusty Russell Harris.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think that deserves a standing ovation. Come on, stand up and salute Russell Harris for 40 years' service to the sport of Speedway. Come on your feet. Give this man a rousing send-off.
Congratulations, Russell. Many, many years, and we've worked together for a lot of that time and known each other for, I don't know, probably 30, 35 years, and thoroughly deserves a retirement. And I know he'll take that trophy home, and I know he'll treasure it. Well, it's here again, number 46. It is the Superstock Teams Champs. 46 years it's been run here at the Robertson Prestige International Speedway. Co-commentator Stu Russell. Stu, I got questions.
Yes.
Firstly.
Yes.
Can the Glen Eagles go back to back again for number 4? Can the Panthers step up to a better level than last year?
Can the Eagles make it a 4-peat? Absolutely, they can.
They've got the ability.
They have got the ability. They've got the drivers and the experience, and they've got that taste, that hunger. They've tasted victory. They know what it's like now.
Yep.
The hardest part about going back to back and having that is keeping the taste in alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's sometimes the hardest part about victory. Yep. So I think definitely the Glen Eagles can take the 4-peat.
Yeah, well, I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised to see Gisborne on the podium. Peter Rees announced his retirement during the off-season. And he's been really a backbone of the Gisborne team, backbone of the Panthers for a long time as well. What difference do you think that's going to make to the Gisborne team? Positive, or do you think they'll step up again?
I don't think it'll make, well, I shouldn't say it shouldn't make too much difference, but I think they're a pretty well-oiled machine with what they've got. It's pretty much the same sort of guys that have been amongst themselves the last probably 5-6 years. Pete, is going to be probably one of those drivers now that because he's not racing is going to be tapped on the shoulder a wee bit more in the pits and a lot more words spoken with fans and with friends and things like that, because Pete's a really focused guy, and I know with our autograph session he absolutely loved it. I say that sarcastically because for him, team champs, it was time to just focus on the job at hand, and having the autograph session whilst he always done it, and I thank him for it so many times. He also used to just love not having to do it and just focusing on his task, which was teams. Can the Panthers step up from previous years? Well, I guess they did get a little bit lucky last year to get into that third and fourth race. They did obviously in the end lose that third and fourth race, and they only got there by way of a team getting disqualified that they weren't even involved in that race.
That's right. They weren't involved in the Auckland thing.
Yes, so they need to step up.
Have they got the team to step up?
They've got a very much a mixed team. I mean, they've got a lot of experience there, the likes of William, Scott, Joblin, that is, and even Rebecca has a lot of experience there. They've got a lot of youth, and Trent James still, relatively new to the scene, a couple of years in. Kyle Rowe has done a lot of stock car teams racing. Well, he's only actually done about 3-4 years of stock car teams racing.
That's right. It's not a lot. And not too much in the super stock.
And not a lot in the super, except for the end of last season. And Scott Williams, obviously, as well, has done a couple of years and has shone, to be fair. But a very, very... maybe it's the refresh that the Panthers need. I don't know.
And of course, the 515s, the father-son combination is there as well. A couple of newbies or newish ones.
Yeah. What have we got? Tom Bennett and Rob Platt.
Yep, Ron Plant.
Plant. Yep. I don't have my driver's list in front of me. Yeah, so a couple of new drivers. Tom's a really top F2 driver over in England, and he did actually drive here last year in the second night in the Constellations. I think he jumped in Charlie's car, the Marty Jones machine. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how those two adapt. Losing the two Tesla boys, the Dutchies. But, with that solid combination of the two Waymans and Carl Hawkins and Charlie, I actually think Frankie Wayman Jr. is probably one of the best teams racers going around at the moment.
Second night, of course, Super Saloons.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Obviously, the high-side hustler, Jason Fager's back, and he's running a pretty special car this weekend. I know, for one, I can't wait to see it on track. It's a genuine Longhorn out of the USA, which is what Jason runs over in the USA, owned by Peter Bankston, which it absolutely looks immaculate. Full, USA spec, slight couple of tweaks to New Zealand regulations. But, I can't wait to see that on track. So Fager's going to be in that. We've got Kai Blight, who's the Australian late model champion. He was over last year as well. He's back here this year in Pete's stealth car. Well, it's a hybrid these days. It's been chopped and changed so much, but he's in that car. We've got Casey Boudet. We've got Ethan Dotson, both out of America, both World of Outlaw late model drivers, and Luke Soil Series late model drivers. So, and a couple of other Australians, plus a whole heap of top New Zealand talent. It's going to be a fantastic night for the Super.
It's going to be fantastic, for Super Saloons for night two. What is it about this event? I mean, it's number 46.
I know, it gives you goosebumps just thinking about it now, right?
But there's no other event like it in Speedway in New Zealand.
There's not even really another event like it in motorsport in New Zealand. The only other thing that comes close is probably what Australia run with the Classic and the sprint cars. But even then, the crowd is a lot smaller. Yeah, I don't know. There's no one word, probably magical is the word, to be fair, that describes what Teams Champs is.
And it's just a magical weekend for the sport and for Palmerston North, in fact. It's worth a lot of money to the city.
Yeah, it is. What do they quote? Something like $9 million over the weekend. You see the flags in town. It's great what it does for the city. And the preparation, we're here at the track. I mean, the terrace is getting a repaint. They're
Yes.
repainting them now. The wall's being redone. There's a crane in the background to the cameras doing the lights. We've done sound checks. There's new corporate seating going up.
And even people who wander through who know nothing about Speedway, they stop and they have a look and say, oh, what's this all about? Particularly visitors to town who just may not know much about the sport, but they look and think, oh, this is interesting, this is different,
Yeah, and that's what I love with the square, is it's getting those people off the street that are just out doing their shopping or out for their casual walk with the grandkids or the kids, and they see Speedway cars and they have no idea, and they look at it, and then they end up here and they end up coming and watching. They get the posters, they get the stickers, they might even buy a t-shirt from one of the teams because they think it looks cool. And that's what we love about the square. Not only that, but all these teams are starting to do displays at local restaurants and bars, car dealerships. The accessibility to teams, to drivers at Teams Chance weekend is unbelievable. We have the autograph session at the track. We've got everything on offer.
It's just grown and got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I don't see any sign of it ending soon.
No, I don't. And we're at 46 now. 2030, we're going to be hitting 50 years of Teams Champs, or the 50th Teams Champs.
Let's go one team you would not be surprised to see on the podium at the end of the weekend. Just one team.
Not okay. What can we go both? Can we go one team that we want on the podium and one team that we...
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Canterbury on the podium, but taking, say, them out of it, I wouldn't be surprised to see Gisborne on the podium.
You've stolen my thunder.
Well, I'll go Canterbury.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised to see Canterbury back on the podium.
Yeah, well, I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised to see Gisborne on the podium. And, of course, my heart bleeds black, always.
Yep.
And I would love to see a great showing from the Black Cars. Well, mate, roll up your sleeves. We're about to go. It's going to be a busy weekend for both of us. And, of course, for Malcolm and Mike down with us, joining us again. This is the big dance. So, ladies and gentlemen, take your partners. This is number 46. Let's go.
We get the green, we're off and away. Early
on. Frankie Wayman's going to lead us.
Come on, Frankie.
On the blocks, the 72 of Cody McKee. He gets running though. Lonigan is going to chase the 515 of Frankie Wayman. They go down into turns 1 and 2.
Come on, Frankie.
Ferguson is waiting.
He should be black
as
flag.
he's going to be looking for the Wayman Junior car, which he does. However, though, you've got the 555 of Frankie Wayman Junior blocking.
Come on, JJ.
Lonigan.
Great job.
Trying to work his way through. As the 16 of Tyler Ingram now gets into the race lead as Junior goes around. So at the moment, it's an Auckland trifecta with the 16 of Tyler Ingram, the 95 of Lonigan, and the 72 of McKee sitting in third. Frankie Wayman, the best of the UK cars at the moment, sitting in fourth in the 515 as Charlie Sauter goes around the block car. Now Junior waits for the 16 of Ingram. Ingram's going to go up high and put the shot in, but Ferguson is there waiting, and Lonigan is going to go back through into the race lead.
I've got to support the boys, Hans. I've got to support the boys.
It's going to go through with Lonigan leading this one. Then go back to Ingram. Charlie Sauter waits down in turns 1 as the 515 GB of Frankie puts Cody McKee into the wall. Now Ferguson, what can he do? Because he just wants to see and let Lonigan and Ingram go. 555 of Frankie Junior waits. He gets the hit. He goes through though, does Ingram in the 16 car. McKee's just going to be waiting. Ferguson still holding up the 175 GB of Hawkins as he sits in third. 5 laps done, halfway through. The Auckland All-Stars, Great British Lions, Superstock Teams race. And it is still Tyler Ingram who leads this one. Ferguson gets 2 shots put on him. Just about gets up on the wall. So still looking for the 16 Tyler Ingram car, which is your race leader. In fact, he's come to a halt, so it's Lonigan now that's going to go into the race lead 7 laps in. So Lonigan has completed 7 laps. Tyler Ingram has completed 7 laps as well. So it's still 1-2 for Auckland. Carl Hawkins, the 175 GB, just crossing the line, is sitting in third with Frankie in fourth. So the 555 of Frankie Wayman Junior really needs to do what he can to try and stop the 16 of Ingram. But Lonigan, though, he is going to continue. So Ingram sitting in second spot, but he knows Lonigan where he will be. It is, of course, point first across the line. It is not a points teams race. So Ingram sits on 8 laps, but it's Lonigan, the 95 car, who is with the white flag. Less than a lap left to run. He's going to go down through turns 3 and 4, and he is going to peel around onto the front straight, and he is going to pick up the checkered flag. So Lonigan gets the race win for Auckland. They will take the team's race.
We are here live in the club rooms for the NZ Superstocks Teams Draw. This is the big one. I've got with me Roger McGarry from NZ. You've been supporting the team's champs for how many years now?
I think it's 25 years at least that we've been supporting this event, because just it's such a... The public are just so passionate about the teams racing. They just love it.
What about you? What about the passion and the pride that it must bring up in you to be associated with something that is so widely regarded, not just in New Zealand, but worldwide?
Well, the fact that it's a sellout every year for 2 nights, I can't think of any other sporting event in New Zealand that just matches that for the sheer numbers and the passion of the people that come along, and of course the drivers and the teams. They just love it. They just think it's so important, and we just like backing it.
All right, let's take a wee look at the board. First seeds, they're the ones that finished first, second, third and fourth last year. The Eagles, 3 years in a row, they've been up there, so they're going to be pushing it. Bay Park Busters had a good year last year. The Stratford Scrappers have always been good. Palmerston North Panthers, I've got to say, I've done a bit of digging in the history. The history of the Superstocks teams event since 1981, Palmerston North, the winningest team. Somewhere near 80% their percentage of wins across it. Funnily enough, the GB team, Great British team, they've got a 61% success rate and they've never won a title. They're thinking this could be their year. What do you reckon?
Well, it's looking pretty good, although in the first outing tonight, I see Auckland did beat them home in the first race, but the team's looking good. They've got a good manager, they've got a good crew, some young guys in there, so they'll be pushing for it.
Yeah, but you've got to say that, don't you? But I am going to ask you to go over to see Bruce over there. Put your hand in the box. Select out who is the first pick to go up against the first seeds. It is the Wanganui Warriors. Whoa, taking on the reigning champs. I got to say, it'll take a big year for the Wanganui Warriors. They're not bad though, are they? All right, so let's go. The second pick on second seed up against the Bay Park Busters, the Manawatu Mustangs. All right, that's always a good call. Manawatu, great supporters of this, aren't they? Okay, going in for the next one. Third pick for the Stratford Scrappers. They'll be taking on. Oh, it's the British Lions. GB Lions will be loving that one. They'll be going, and Stratford will be going, oh, welcome back, boys. Let's have a big one. So, Palmerston North, the winningest team in the teams racing event, the Superstocks champs. Oh, the Gisborne Giants. That is going to be a ripper. Gisborne Giants. I'm going to come out here and say Gisborne Giants could be a dark horse in this run.
Okay, well, I don't know about the Gisborne team. Have they ever won it?
No, that's not the point. They're a good team, and I think they've got a chance. And look, coming up against Palmy, that's going to be just the effort they need to push them through, I think.
All right, okay, let's see who's going to be the fifth pick.
All right, off you go, Rog. Jump right in there. Here we go. Auckland Allstars. Hang on, up against the Eagles, but what about the Wanganui Warriors in there as well? They could upset them.
Well, they could do.
You're an Auckland boy, aren't you?
I am.
Oh, there you go.
My team.
All right, let's go into the sixth pick with the Bay Park Busters, the Manawatu Mustangs.
Rotorua Rebels.
The Rotorua Rebels. I've got to say, Rotorua Rebels, I'm picking them as another outside chance. I reckon they're going to go. Right now, I'm going to say straight through to the semis.
Okay, big call.
No, it isn't.
Beating the Mustangs?
Yeah, I reckon.
Mustangs usually do pretty well.
No, they can do it. They can do it. Seventh pick.
Okay.
Hawkeyes. Hawke's Bay Hawkeyes. Now, it's going to be a lot of huge support for the Hawke's Bay Hawkeyes. That only leaves the last one. All right, here we go. The Wellington Wildcats. There we go. That's your draw, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2026 NZ Superstocks Teams Champs.
Well, they call it the big dance, and they don't call it the big dance for no real reason. Probably one of the biggest speedway events in the country. It is 46 years, and we still continue here at the Robertson Prestige International Speedway. Ross Thurston is the senior referee here at Palmerston North. And Ross, once again, thank you for your time. We really just want to brush up and look at the differences, the main differences between the rules in stock car teams racing or super stock teams racing versus standard super stock racing. And there are differences.
Yeah, several differences, Dave. Main differences are that you can stop and wait. With normal racing, you've got to be moving at all times.
Yep.
You can hit a stationary car, and you can attack from a stationary position. Probably the main changes. Most of the other rules are pretty much the same, but it certainly adds for a pretty spectacular racing.
Does the weekend mean a different setup for the referees as opposed to a normal race night? Do you bring in others, or have you got enough locals?
No, we've got enough locals. We do have another senior official or referee coming for the event, which is Brendan McDowell. He's originally from Stratford, but now living up in the Bay of Plenty. So he comes down here, and basically another set of eyes. And if I get busy for any reason, he can carry on with the meeting. So the meeting doesn't stop.
All right. So how many people do you have in the referee hut this weekend?
Up there this weekend, there will be 4 plus myself. So we have the dedicated camera room, video room. So there'll be 1 in there and 3 in the box.
and 12,000 sitting around the track.
Yeah, more like probably 15,000.
Everyone's a referee. So Ross, what are the main things? We're going to look at the track. We've got a fabulous little track here with the Rapid Race Replica boys who've supplied a couple of fabulous little cars. Very cool cars. What are the main things you're going to be looking for?
Obviously, pole line. Unfortunately, a pole line is always is an issue in teams racing. Cars with wheels over the pole and either avoiding contact or coming off the pole line to make contact. Those will be pretty strenuously looked at. Got 9 cameras up there all the way around the track. So
in previous years, what are the things that you have to talk to people about?
This year we've had a few little rule changes from last year. Last year it was there was rules where you had to rejoin in the same corner or straight. So if you exited, say down the front straight here, that was the front straight. You exited the track there with a spin or anything. You had to rejoin anywhere in this area here. Where now you're spinning to the infield. You can rejoin on this here or the next corner. So previously last year, that was a disqualification. That happened quite regularly last year. So this year, we've basically given the drivers a little bit more leeway, a little bit more time. And these rule changes were all put forward through the Speedway New Zealand AGM. So all the clubs vote on. So that particular remit for that rule was put in by myself and the club to try and make it a bit easier for the drivers and also for the spectators. So we're not disqualifying cars at the time. The other one, the major one, was like last year when we had the issue with the Mustangs. That was when Jordan Deere got the checkered flag, but he had an incident at turn 4 where another car blocked him in, and the rule back then said that you must reverse and drive around that opposing car. Now we've taken that last piece out of the rule, and basically as long as the car in front is in an attacking position, meaning he's driving with the flow of the traffic, so there's nothing in front of him, either the wall or the pole line, then this guy here can bash his way out. Where before we had to drive around, now he can reverse up and bang out of the way. So if it's in the middle of the track like that, and the checkered flag is here, the flow of the traffic is this way, and he's here, he can take the front end he can hit that car anywhere. But if there's another car that's parked in front of him, say another car is parked here, like that, so he can't drive forward he can't drive forward with the flow of the traffic because this car here is blocking him, then the next car can't hit that car. He must drive around.
What are the things that you think you always seem to have a problem with, either interpretation or the crowd has a problem with the interpretation? What are the things that you think, we've got to change this somehow, it's not flowing well?
Well, the 2 rules that we were tripped up on last year, we've changed. So hopefully that will make this meeting far better, a little bit less controversy. There was the problem with the seeking sanctuary last year. That's still the same. So that rule hasn't changed, but definitely these other 2 rules with disqualifying drivers.
Should be a fantastic weekend overall. Ross Thurston, he's the senior referee here at the Robertson Prestige International Speedway. They're going to be busy guys up in the hut. Hopefully there's going to be no real problems that they can't solve. Hopefully we get through the weekend with everything going pretty swimmingly, and we have a great couple of days. Well, to wrap up this extended episode, we look back at the highlights of night one of the team's racing champs.
As we get the green, Hayden Hart underway. The 77.8's already taken wide, and a big shot there from Pollock. Up, one over straight away. Back on the wheels. Zane Dykstra now gets the 79 a punt. Unsettles the car, goes for the outside move. Gets stuck to the wall. Up the wall he goes. Oh, we almost had a second over. Kayla Mooney's got one tangled down the far end and into the wall out of 4. Oh, and another big shot. Look at Hayden Hart through the lot of them. Oh, he does come up to Matt Jarvis though. Around the outside, on the brakes. I think Dan Pollock, as he was going for the lead, just collects his own car. White flag, 1 to run for the Wanganui Warriors, 166. Hayden Hart, he's been barely touched all race. Around the outside now of Tony Wooten, gets fired in the wall, keeps the loud pedal up. Oh, there's a bit of smoke coming out the 166 now. Hayden Hart gets by, Pollock puts to the wall and just crosses the line with some severe damage, the 166p. We get the green. Brodie James on the brakes there. Josh Prentice just trying to command this start here, the 5G, as Peter Rees gets attacked by Hamish Booker, and Rees isn't letting him off. The 126G sitting in third. They come up on Pickard. Oh, Asher Rees.
Geez, that was brilliant.
A shot on
Brilliant
the
from the
89S.
89.
Tyler James almost went over himself of Tyler James, the 89S. Goes round the outside of Ethan Rees, commits to it. Pete's getting put in the wall. And at the same time...
Yeah, that nearly went. Oh, and another shot.
Another shot. So Prentice has gone around. Here comes Tyler James. And it's Tyler James into the lead. Tyler James in the lead. Hamish Booker into the lead. Tyler James there just got spun up by Prentice. I get to the 82S with 2 laps to run. 2 to race up. Look at that. Matt Pickard just gets sent into 4. It's all on Hamish Booker now. Josh Prentice and Chase. We've got 1 corner to go. The 82's your race leader. Tyler James on the blocks up the inside of the 10G. Now can he get by the 126 to the line? Booker's pushing through and Stratford take the win. 82S takes them straight to the infield there. Oh, we got 1 up and over. And back on the wheels. Back on the wheels.
So we go red. We go red again. The race is not over.
Tyler James up and over. If he can fire up and get to the line. He is sitting in third at the moment as we get the green. And it's a run line. And look at this already. Hemingway puts Sorter into the wall. Wayman Jr. is going to try and control that start with Ryan Hunter behind. But here comes Todd Hemingway off. Frankie Wayman Jr.'s got them all behind. I think Sorter might pop around the outside. A lot of them, no, he doesn't. Gets a big serve here from Hemingway. Puts himself in sideways. Oh, 1 up the wall. That's Niels Tesla. Sorter goes through. Oh, not to be. Gets caught up. Wayman Jr. not wanting to go into that block roll and take the 1NZ. Hemingway will come around, he'll get the white flag this time as well. So the 1NZ on his last lap as Wayman Jr. gets the punt there and put in the wall by Elias Dykstra. Oh, the 1NZ to Hemingway with the good timing shot there on Wayman Jr. and another one from Dykstra. It's coming on as what a luck charm that one is. The 1NZM. Todd Hemingway takes the win. The Rebels in the stands, they were tied at the TAB. Geordie's on the brakes. Hamilton has a crack at Axtons. Axtons goes around. I just gets stuck there briefly with Mig. Jordan Deere fired to the inside. Rumney back into second. Jordan Deere into the wall hard, the 581. As Axtons now comes up onto Burmeister. He gets pushed to the wall by Axton. Jordan Deere now, what's he going to do? He's got Axtons behind him. Trying to hold him up, the 14. Oh, he comes together with the 7 as well. Hamilton now into the back of the 7. Hamilton pushes Rumney to the infield, gets the second. Now Deere's caught Axtons. Hamilton goes for the shot now and spins Axtons up. Hamilton to the lead. Comes up on the back of McRobbie. Oh, gets put to the wall straight away. Deere went for the shot. Now Exton's back to the lead. The 14R goes through to the lead. It's back and forth here. Hamilton goes through on McRobbie. Big shot there from Lowe. And the 99P, the ring-in driver, picks up the win for the Mustangs. We get our 10-lapper underway. And look at that, Ward on the brakes from row 3. Harley Robb gets away, Regan Penn. And Harley Robb manages to get round the bend. Oh, he's sideways. Penn goes round as well. On the pole line. Oh, he picks up Loveridge, tags him. A little bit too late there, gets collected by Gallup. Just adjusting to that new car, I'm sure, as well. Jaden Ward still in the wall there with Scott Gallup. Now pulls up. Oh, the Ward is over. He pulled out on Loveridge. Scott Gallup taking the shot here from Wallace. Opens the door for Thine to go through, and they double team him there. So they come up on Loveridge. Gallup has to go wide. Thine bullies his way through. Wallace now to the lead. Oh, big shot, Dylan Ashton. Picks up Harley Robb as well. Thine stays in that second spot. The rear end collapses a wee bit there on the 991. Gallup with a try and pull out of his own. Oh, well, Darryl Wallace gets toast there sideways. Picked up by Loveridge, trying to get the 557 fired. James Thine will take the win. The 14C picking up the win. Oh, we go red. Oh, reds are on. We got one in the wall down the far end. Last race of round 1 up next. Now we get the green. It's the 235 Regan Penn will cross the line. Darryl Wallace has been held on the wall. We get the green. Randy T on the brakes. D-Rob's going to try and control this one with Keegan. Also going to Cody Mack. Takes the 89 to the wall. That leaves Keegan and Chatfield going at it down the back straight. Oh, big shot here from Cody Chatfield on Dale Robertson. Picks him up. Goes to the lead. Ice stalled up. Cody Mack now to the lead. Right, now what can Ethan Levine do here? The 2NZ gets spun up. He's got Cody Mack in the wall though. Cody Chatfield now will go the lead. That left rear's gone on the 89W. Chatfield's got to get by Ethan Levine. The pace of it. Oh, he gets through, and Chatfield, the 74A, is going to take the checker. Revs up and we go racing. Trent James gets the jump there over Pollock. William Humphreys holding off Slater. Pollock's chasing down the 156. Trent James on his home track goes wide. He's racing this like a normal night as Trent James.
Whoa!
And wowee, there goes Slater, the 77.
What a
down
crash.
the main straightaway. Jack Myers, if he can get by, he does, he gets by. Dan Pollock, the 88 moves into third, so the Panthers running 1, 2, 3 here. And some great blocking by Scott Williams, the 41. 12-8, Jeff White on the pole line. Gets a serve up from Trent James. Hooks it round, does the old doughy round. Keeps the power on. Off it goes again. Dan Pollock, he gets up the side, up the inside of the 41. Has to yield out. It will be Trent James picks up his first win at Teams Champs. And the race is on. Everyone off and away except for Walker down the back, and Hart gets to the lead. The 166 gets him to the grass. Oh, he's got him in behind now. He's created a gap. Hart goes by Walker, puts himself in the waters. Walker, big shot almost there. I thought it was going to be a huge one on Linklater. He gets spun round there. Oh, and the one goes over the front of Hayden Hart. That'll be Brody James, puts himself to the lead. Ryan Marshall into second. Walker puts the 15 into the wall. Hayden Hart back into third. Ryan Marshall gets spun up there. Courtesy of Booker and Walker. Oh, and a big shot there to the race leader in the wall. Adamson's going to come through. The 6S will take the win. 5G of Josh Prentice. We got James Clark off the back with Frankie Wayman Jr. And it'll be Asher Rees that gets us underway. Asher Rees catches the field. Charlie Sorter there. Hauled into the wall, but courtesy of Tim Ross. Asher Rees now. Oh, sorry, it's Ted Wayman. Asher Rees still cruising behind the 29 of James Clark. As Frankie Wayman Jr. We got one up and over. Frankie Wayman Jr. now under pressure from James Clark. Yields out of it. 5-on-5 back to third. 5-10 Wayman trying to hold off. Asher Rees gets wide of the wall there. Josh Prentice went for a look. Frankie Wayman Jr. just gives him the bumper. Oh, Prentice almost tags him. White flag, 1 to run. But Asher Rees opens the door for James Clark to have a go at Frankie Wayman Jr. 10 Wayman gets spun through. Asher Rees comes through the dust. It will be the 126G. It's been a while, but he picks up a win as a giant. Green drops, we're away. Hemingway gets us off and going. Robbie Morris on the brakes, and it'll be, oh look, he's got a wee bit wide there and he goes sort of round. And I clipped him there, the 9R. Gets a serve from Dykstra, but it will be the 14 of Exton takes the front end out. The 9R, the leader's got damage. And the Busters are about to hunt him in if AJ Exton can't catch him in time. Oh, 1NZ of Hemingway goes through. Remden fires across the 9R. And a big shot there. Exton goes through into second now. But Hemingway has the lead, the 1NZ. He'll come up on Dale Stewart now, the 94R. Tries the speed around the outside, not to beat. Ducks to the inside, spins him up. AJ's right behind the 14R. Oh, they both get tagged. There's dust everywhere, and someone got smoked amongst all that. So it was Robbie Morris that got him. AJ came flying through. Couldn't see, obviously. Smoked Hemingway now. There's one in the wall. That's it. Dale Stewart, yes it is the 94R, the white flag's out, 1 to run. AJ Exton busts his way through the Busters. Ryan Hudson chase, we're on the last lap. AJ, can he hold off? Hemingway to the inside. Oh, Hunt's gone around him. AJ Exton's. No. Yes, no. Oh, Hemingway gets it at the line. AJ Exton's. Sorry, Remden gets it at the line.
Yeah, 29.
Remden. The 19 of Remden gets the win at the line. Jaden Ward and Harley Robertson in this one out as we go green. David Lowe gets that jump over James Stein, and he's going to go for it as well. Fine goes as well. Jordan Deere trying to play cat and mouse there with Jay Holtham. Burmeister's actually caught Fine, moved up into that. Sorry, Burmeister's into the lead. David Lowe is blocked off those Eagles, that James Stein car behind him. Although Fine goes through now, and Scott Tennant is. Oh, Jordan Deere gets a big shot from James Stein, lets Darryl Wallace through. Also, again, lets Scott Tennant, great blocking from Fine. Jordan Deere once again, the 581. Go to stop Darryl Wallace and puts the big bumper shot on the 581. Burmeister trying to catch. He's held up one car, has Jordan Deere. Jordan Deere's too tied up with the 557 of Wallace, and Tennant goes through. Tennant's got a clear track in the 808, should pick up the win from here. Tennant round the wall out of 4, puts himself up the wall. Almost went over in the 808, takes the win for the Glen Eagles. We go green, and it's Randy T. It gets away ever so slowly. Cody Mack now to the lead. There's Regan Penn and Jacob Buckerill. Jacob Buckerill put to the wall there. Courtesy of Randy T. Regan Penn goes. Ferguson now covers Gallop. McKee backs himself with pace, and a great run around the outside of Loveridge there. Gallop gets a whack there all over the show. Regan Penn now stuck in behind the tank. What can Loveridge do? Clears them out. Penn goes through. Buckerill's going to have to go to work here on Randy T to get Regan Penn by. He does. He hooks to the inside. Which way's Regan Penn going to go? Puts the bumper into Randy T. Goes up the inside. Slows up. Oh, can he get around Ferguson now? And Randy T tags Penn, and Cody Mack, the 72A, goes to the lead. He gets spun up now. Randy T's parked in front of Regan Penn. Cody Mack now your race leader, the 72A car. He'll come around and get the wire. We lose a wing from Scott Gallop's car. Probably go red for that in a mo. White flag's out, 1 to run. No, we stay green. Randy T's on the hiss trying to catch just in case something goes on here. But it should be Cody Mack. And it will be. Cody Mack, the 72A, takes the win for the Auckland All-Stars. Get the green. Ethan on the blocks. Scotty Job. Off and gone. Dale Robertson. William Humphries. Keegan Levine. Jack Myers now. He's going to try and tag onto the back of this one. It's Benji Snellon's got Scott Job into the wall. That puts Dale Robertson briefly to the lead. Dale gets pushed to the infield there. William to the lead. Jack in second. Although Ethan is still on it. Goes for a shot on Jack. Tags him. Keegs goes through. Big shot there. Can he pick up the 41p? Dale Robertson's right behind. Oh, look at that. Scott Williams put in Dale Robertson to the outside and to the lead. Jack Myers has got the 89 held up though. Drag race to the line. William Humphries, even if he gets the bumper work here, the 94p should get the checkered flag. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. Okay. The 94p has technically won the race.
Well, that's Speedway Gladiators for tonight. We are minutes away from a start to the Superstock Teams Champs for 2026.